So, you know, there are a few plants that you can grow here in the Northwest that really offer the wonderful range of things that citrus do. Beautiful foliage, great fragrance, and edible fruit. I'm here with Pat from Hines Nursery, and we're going to be chatting, Pat, a little bit about citrus and some thoughts you have about actually growing them possibly year-round here. So let's just start in with a few varieties that we have and then travel on through that, okay?
Sure. I think it surprises people to think that citrus can be grown outside in Western Oregon, but it's very possible. And we want to share some of the varieties and maybe a few tips on how to make it work.
Sure.
The most popular and luckily the most useful variety is the Meyer lemon. This is one that's been grown on an espalier. As you can see, there's fruit at all different stages that were set last summer. Some of them are still ripening, and these will continue to ripen through the spring.
It's one of the great things about the Meyer's Improved Lemon is that it will continue to flower and fruit all through the year. It doesn't have like a one-time fruiting season.
That's right, and it has the wonderful fragrance, beautiful foliage, and the fruit's delicious.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Now, what about this girl right here?
Washington Navel Orange, the classic one that you see in your produce section. Beautiful dark green foliage on oranges, wonderful fragrance. You can see that this one's already trying to anticipate spring. You've got some new growth thinking about coming out, have some flower buds ready to go. And take all the way through to fall to ripen. You get one crop a year on oranges.
Much like the grapefruit here, which has the same beautiful dark foliage, but a whole different fruit.
Right, and then this is also a once-a-year grower, but a beautiful tree. And you can see this one is really jumping the gun here with some flowers there's even one open right there.
And you know, I think, Pat, that the fragrance of a citrus is right up there with gardenias and jasmine to me. It's just one of my favorite fragrances.
There's nothing like it. It's clean and beautiful.
Yeah. The fun thing, too, now is the variegation that they're coming out with. Let's talk about this one here.
This is the Eureka lemon. This is the classic lemon that you buy at the market for lemonade and other cooking uses. And this one's variety has a variegated foliage. You can see that it's loaded with flower buds. There are some small fruits already forming.
And let's show them this, Pat. Look at the fruit is even variegated.
This is fun. Isn't that great? It's striped just like the foliage.
It's really beautiful. Really
and yet
beautiful.
it has all the uses of the
any
green
of the
one.
other lemons?
Yep, you can use
Nice.
the juice the same way.
Well, speaking of variegation, what is this one?
This is a calamondin. This is used mostly for ornamental use. It's a very beautiful bushy plant, covers itself with small flowers with a great fragrance, little round, perfectly round little oranges. But the variegation on this one is really its claim to fame, really pretty on the patio.
Well, now, you know, we have a couple of fertilizers here, but there's really not a lot you have to do to citrus as far as fertilization.
No, there isn't. I keep mine in pots. I keep them outside all winter long. I try to pick a spot where they're out of the wind in the winter time.
And do you let the rain get on them too? Or are they like on a porch up by the house?
I do. I keep them usually, my front porch faces west. It's wind protected, so that's their winter home. They go back on the patio for the summer. When the temperature is going to go below 28, I drag them into the garage for a couple of nights. They spend a little more time in there this year than they usually do.
True.
But they'll be great. I've had much better luck with them making it through the winter by keeping them outside than I ever did by pulling them inside.
One would think that would be a lot less stressful on them going from a heated home to outside, because even the springtime it can get cold here, so that would make a lot of sense. So if all of this has piqued your interest on wanting to try to grow citrus year-round for your own garden, we invite you to go to any of your independent garden centers, because many of them carry a great selection of citrus. Pat, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for the information.
Thanks. It was great to be with you.